Since we are now artists, we get what's called an artistic license. And that's basically just a license to do whatever the fuck we want. Yo, Walrus. Got stuck at dinner, but I'll definitely watch the VOD. Appreciate it, buddy. This is not my internet. My stream died for a second. Yep, it sure did. We should be back up now, though. Sorry. So a cube, we're not drawing just like a square. I'm assuming you know how to draw a square. We're drawing a square that's like turned like 45 degrees every several minutes. Okay. My only form of entertainment today before stream was watching a train leave westbound out of town right before work. That can be fun. So I like to start with 3 lines, and if you want, don't have to, have these lines be at the same level. And these ends be at the same level. You don't have to, and I'll show you why later. So these 3 lines, and then we connect them. Connect them at the bottom. Easy. And I'm using kind of light to medium light pressure. Anyway, we have a imaginary line that's behind the box. We're going to say it's right there. We're going to say it's about right there. And so it's just one of those things you have to like have a feel for. Well, thanks, Freckle. It's just practice. Um, so this line is technically not visible to us. We pretend that it's there in our heads when we get used to drawing boxes and box shapes. We're just going to use it today to draw since we are above the box, we can see it. And see, one thing I messed up that you might have messed up too. It's not even really a mess up. So who can tell me what's kind of funky about the box? What's kind of funky about it? The perspective is off exactly. We fucked up the perspective. And that's okay. The corner closest to us, it's not the same as the plane on top. Close, close. Yep, this does curve a little bit. No, but it's okay. This is part of practice. We make mistakes. Everybody does. I fuck things up all the time. Um, Getting good at like identifying the issue and um figuring out why is no mistakes allowed. Mistakes are definitely allowed. Boop. Um, so to fix this, we can either raise this line up we can make this shorter, or we can lower this down. It all depends, like, what, okay, good enough. Hold on. So it all depends, like how much of the top of the cube you want to be able to see. So, little Mac, why would you do this? So I kind of want to see more of the top of my cube, so I'm going to lower this line to about right there. And since we lowered it here, we have to draw it shortened on this side too. And it might still be a little off, but it's going to look a lot less funky. Oh, we got to redraw this line. That's making my brain feel a lot better. Without mistakes, I wouldn't be here. Oh no. Oh no. Good catch, Kerbal. And the perspective's still a little fucked up. But that's okay. At this point, I could have lowered this end a little bit to make these two lines parallel. We're not going to take ourselves that seriously today. So since we're drawing a cube, we need to draw our sun. We already have this box here, so that's going to be our sun. It's a Minecraft sun. Where's LB Dubs when you need him? Yo, Halsey is good. We like Halsey around here. So, okay, our light source is coming from behind the square and over here. So we're shining light this way. Now, technically, the sun is not shining on this shape or this plane, and it's not shining on this plane. This will still get like a little bit of sun, but not a lot. This is going to be our lightest surface by far. Yo, Canis, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the hydrate. It's technically like kind of like sparkling water, but yo, Canis, thanks for the shout out. Appreciate you. So since we know this is the lightest and this is the darkest, that means our midtone's going to be here. We're just going to set our midtone. And all that means is that it's the darkness value between our darkest point and our lightest point. That's it. It doesn't get any deeper than that. Okay. The Canis stamp of approval. Appreciate it. Remember, we want to erase the solid lines as much as we can. They don't exist in nature, and since we're trying to draw realistically, we're just going to smudge those until they almost fade out of existence. Then come back with the eraser and establish that line a little bit more. Cool, cool. Since this face of the cube is farthest from the sun, it needs to be the darkest. And I'm kind of using the edge of the pencil. You can kind of see like the tip of the graphite is almost like curving. I'm basically wanting to, I'm kind of being lazy. If I go like this, I get a bunch of really solid lines. But if I use the edge of the pencil, I have a lot more control over how gradual and how delicate the tone of it is. And so this is kind of like getting a little bit too close to the tone, the mid-tone. That just means we need to be a little bit darker. And that's about as dark as we can get with the 2H. So before we go and we um, blend this in, be really careful about the midtone line. If you go over that and you start making those values smudge together, it's going to make the corner of your box look rounded. Which, if that's the effect you want, then go for it. But for today, we want really straight, really defined lines. As defined as we can make them, at least. You can make the smooth corner cube if you want. And I mean, if you look closely on like a dice, maybe a bad example, but this corner is rounded too. You know, it's not perfectly like chiseled. So having a little bit of bleed over, not a big deal. A T6, exactly. We even got one of those, baby. Let's blend that while being careful of our mid-tone line. Just go in carefully. And if you notice, like if you're using Kleenex or tissue, this is gonna start getting frayed. You just give it a twist, bend it over, and now you have like a more firm, or not as chiseled as your abs. What abs? Freckles typing in the wrong chat again. Okay, now we can go back and define these edges again. Make them look really sharp. Give it a twist, bend it over, start again. Yeah, exactly. The old tissue twist. And so since this is, we're going to do this plane now, since it's almost in direct sunlight, really the face behind this is getting the most sunlight, but since we can't see it, the old dick twist. Coldplay around here. We're gonna be very light. Light. We're gonna be pretty light about it. Okay, who sees what I might have messed up? Oh, you know what? We forgot to date it. Very important. Make sure you date it. We gotta keep the receipts. Exactly. Exactly, Little Mac. Good job. Exactly. So how do we fix that? How do we fix it? Bum 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 bum. You can erase. There's an easier way. There's an easier way. Fallen Kingdom lyrics to this. Learning us real good. Darken the midtone. Exactly, Frickle. Exactly. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. Don't go overboard. But we're gonna cheat a little bit. And we're gonna go a little bit darker next to our lightest point. Just to emphasize. And when we blend that in, you won't even be able to tell. Unrequest song? Is that not the song you wanted, Gerbil? It requested the wrong song version. Okay. Let me blend this in and I'll fix you right up. Being real careful around our dark darkest tone. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm gonna add a little bit more definition around the border of the darkest side. Just because they were starting to get a little too close. And if you're considering posting the results of the class, one, it would help out the channel a lot. Two, um, I promise, I promise no one is going to like bash your drawing or be negative. If I see that, I'll personally go to the mods for you. That's not the environment we want. Okay, let's get Goebbels' song fixed. There, we got the regular version for you. What if I post my art and then bash it myself? I mean, I can't control what you do in your own head, but the point is to grow, right? It'd be pretty crazy if you're picking up drawing for pretty much the first time tonight and you were fucking amazing at it. You know who also had to learn how to draw? Fucking Da Vinci. Everybody had. Nobody is like out the womb good at drawing. In fact, it'd be weird if you were. I'm just defining the edge, and then I'm slowly shading along the border. To kind of hide that bold line as much as I can. Shit, I think I got some old drawings on my phone. I could probably find those and post them. Dude, you definitely should. You definitely should. Always excited to see people create and share a passion that I share. Because then we can enjoy it and grow together. Nice. Okay, it's coming together now. Okay, so just to review, we drew the structure of the cube with starting with the three vertical lines and connecting them. We had to fix our perspective. We got it closer. Is it perfect? No. But art's not about being perfect. It's about expressing yourself. It's about conveying a message. Whether that message is personal, maybe it's got like a political tone to it, if it's got an environmental tone to it, if it's something about your personal life, if it conveys it, then it's art. I was thinking of a different thing. I'm a little high and Dread ordered us pizza. Let's go. Many artists in history were also high. And so, the shadow of a cube, it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. So if we get our model back, we get our sun. can see it's kind of a weird shape. Kind of a weird shape. Flashlight battery's dying. Oh, I could have just done that. So the shape of the cube, it's coming out at an angle. Now this sun is really close compared to this one. But basically, I'm gonna follow that. And keep the same angle as this. Now we are drawing the shadow of this line. And now we're going to draw the shadow of this. And as long as those lines are parallel or close, your shadow is probably going to be convincing enough to work. With pineapple? Not today. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so light's coming in this way. Set our midtone. And let's, since we changed this a lot, tone-wise, I'm going to be a little more cautious. Shade it. I'm going to decide whether or not it needs to be darker. Let's get our line back. And I'm using like the whole edge of the eraser to sweep away what we don't want. I think that's pretty good. I'm kind of happy with that shadow right away. Just unusual for me. Draw our horizon line. I'm going to use a 2B this time. And that kind of... you don't need the horizon line. It's totally okay to have it just floating. But I like it because it kind of adds depth. Makes it look like the cube's here and maybe the horizon's like over there. So next is the pyramid. Pyramid's the easiest because we only have two faces to draw, and the shadow is just another triangle. Unlike the circle, it gets a little challenging because you're doing like a gradient. And what makes a cube challenging is defining these tones and making them look different.